ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick,
So it looks very dark blue. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the Marvel Legends Spider-Man Far From Home movies, Molten Man Build-A-Figure Waves, Doppleganger, Spider-Man. If you're trying to pick up this set, you can do so.
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
So I'm pretty stoked to have this character in action figure form, even though this body mold's not my favorite. On the side, you can see Doppleganger right there, and then on the back, you can see an image of the character, and then there's read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. There's the other figures from the wave, then we get the Doppleganger Spider-Man right there. Spider-Man logo spot varnished on the top, and then not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's a Doppleganger out of the packaging, and despite the similarities with the six-armed Spider-Man figure, this thing actually still has some cool stuff going on with it, you know? And I do like the color palette for this Doppleganger. It does look pretty sweet on camera, and it was fun taking pictures of it. We don't have any accessories or anything with this guy, so let's just take a closer look. And just a friendly reminder, there's only a couple days left to enter the contest over at MarvelousNews.com to win $100 worth of free action figures, so check that out, link in the description below. And if you're ever wondering what happened in the Marvel Comics after Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, well, we get the Magus, and Magus uses the Infinity Gauntlet along with the primary leader from the Living Fractional to create evil versions of the Marvel superheroes. So there's doppelgangers of many superheroes. This is the Doppleganger Spider-Man, but it's often referred to as just Doppelganger. And I'm most familiar with the character from reading Maximum Carnage. That was actually one of my favorite books when I was a kid reading it, and I read it coming back into comics in my 20s, and I always thought this character was pretty cool. He's kind of like a pet to Shriek, which I can't wait to see an action figure of her, you know? And he doesn't have too much in the brains going on, so he ends up fighting Carnage and Maximum Carnage and stuff, and he has barbed wire for webbing, which I always thought was really cool. But anyway, looking at the head sculpt, I love this head sculpt. This is exactly what I want from a Doppelganger head sculpt. I love that they have this black trim going around the teeth right over there. I think that's really cool. They look very sharp and pointy without actually being really sharp and pointy, so I thought that was really smooth. I thought they did a good job with that. I love how the eyes came out. You have that cross-hatching pattern like we see in the books, and it has this pearlescent sheen to it, so that is very cool. Very pleased with that. And the cobweb pattern and everything on the side of the head looks really good. And then we're mostly looking at the six-armed Spidey mold again, which really bothered me the first time around, but I gotta say, man, with this figure right here, I've actually been having more fun with it just due to the nature of the character, you know? I do like these darker colors right here, and with the six-armed Spider-Man figure, I feel like that figure, I wanted it to kind of be a little bit more consistent with Pizza Spider-Man. This is not consistent with Pizza Spider-Man, but that's okay with me because it's a different character. It's Doppelganger. But you can see that we get a wide open hand right here, and then a fisted hand, and then another wide open hand down there, and then on this side it alternates with the fisted hand, and then you get one wide open hand, and then another fisted hand right there. And then looking at the texturing of the suit and everything, you know, it's all the same from the six-armed Spider-Man figure, but we get these added feet right here which look very cool. So we get those, you know, like those bird-like claws right over there. I think that is awesome. I love how the webbing just goes through and through. It's kind of funny to not see peg holes at the bottom of the feet. We almost always see peg holes at the bottom of the feet of the Marvel Legends, but no, not a huge loss. And in no one's surprise, the articulation is the same as the six-armed Spider-Man figure. You can move the head all the way up, though. I think that's great for jumping poses. You can move the head down that much, and you get side-to-side motion and a little bit of head wobbling right there. It also does shift forward and back some. Now, all the arms can have the shoulder movement move upward. You can move them down, rotate full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and they all have wrists that turn side to side and hinge up and down. Just take a look at just, I guess, the right side. You can see how far this can move up. So I think that's really cool at the shoulder, and you can rotate that at full 360. Same thing right here at the very bottom. You get a lot of range of motion right over there. So I think that's pretty cool, and it'll rotate all the way around. Now, unfortunately, there's no ab articulation or waist articulation. I really wish we got an ab crunch and waist swivel. We have hips that move outward very far, and he'll kick forward that far and back a bit, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down and they move up, and he does have a calf swivel right there as well as ankle pivot. Now to measure out Doppelganger, you can see that this figure is standing just a bit under the 6.5 inch mark, kind of short. Then here's Doppelganger next to the Marvel Legends six-armed Spider-Man figure, and I talked to Bobby Valla, who used to work for Hasbro, who worked on both of these these figures, and he gave me a full explanation on why they used this particular mold right over here and why it did not have any ab crunch or waist swivel. He told me that the original body mold that they wanted to use was the Pizza Spider-Man, but they can only use that body mold so many times before the mold breaks down and doesn't really work as well. So they had to use a different body mold cast, and then that particular mold that they had created for this figure wasn't able to hold up an ab crunch. He'd gone to his engineer for that, and they said that it would break and crumble if they tried to add an ab crunch in there. The waist swivel, I'm still kind of like, I feel like that could have been added in there. And then here's Doppleganger next to the most recent Adam Warlock / Magus figure. And then here's Doppleganger next to the Marvel Legends Carnage figure from Hasbro, and I do hope they make a Shriek figure. I would love to have that figure. Also, I need to pick up a Demo Goblin. I do not have that figure. That's on the short list of Marvel Legends I actually don't own. And then here's Doppleganger next to a couple Spider-Man figures. We have the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man, and then we have the Mafex Bagley inspired comic version of Spider-Man, which I think works great with this, especially because Bagley drew up a lot of the Spider-Man comics for Maximum Carnage. And then here's Doppleganger next to the other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. We have the Far From Home Spider-Man, Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman, and Hydro-Man. And then here's Doppleganger next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, poor guy. Stupid and ugly. I know how you feel. How about a hug? So I had so much more fun with this figure than the 6-armed Spider-Man figure. I think it's just due to the nature of the character. You know, having a brand new character in my collection always makes me happy. And then the fact that I could pose this guy around in action poses and stuff where it's not really called for with the 6-armed Spider-Man, but with this one it totally is. So yeah, man, at the price point around 20 to 25 bucks, I'm giving this a Sun rating of...
It's not too bad.
And I am using the spaghetti web right over there. I think it looks pretty cool, even though it's not technically the barbed wire webbing. But I want to know what you guys think of this figure. Let me know in the comments section below, and hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you have not already. And check out marvelousnews.com for the latest in action figure news and picks of the day, and they have customs up there as well. If you want to follow me on the social media, check me out over on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and Stardust. And a big thanks to all the people that support this YouTube channel over on Patreon. Your guys' support is very much appreciated, and I will catch you guys later. Peace!
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.